With us now is the gentleman that you just saw hosting that focus group, Turning Point USA spokesman and executive producer of The Charlie Kirk Show, Andrew Kolvet. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. Summarize for us a little bit what you learned from doing the focus group and what you were most surprised by.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Batya. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight. What I learned, it's hard to say because I kind of expected the answers that they gave, actually. And, for those in your audience that understand what Turning Point does, I mean, we go to college campuses all the time. And we did 24 campuses in the November run-up to the election, and then we did another, I think, 28 in the spring semester. We're going to do almost 30 again this upcoming semester. So we've been hearing this, and one of the reasons that we did this focus group was because we noticed there was a massive disconnect between older generations and the way they viewed Israel and the way they thought that we should be talking about Israel, and the kids that we were interacting with on campus. There was a complete disconnect, and we thought this could be a tool to help bridge those generational divides. And as you could see, and you made clear in your open, that these kids are not necessarily antagonistic to Israel. They don't hate Jews. They are really upset about being called anti-Semitic when they feel like they're not, if they have a critique about Bibi Netanyahu or the Likud government, things like that, or how much money we spend on Israel. Now, a lot of those things have very valid defenses. That's not what we were doing here. We wanted to hear from them about what they thought, what they were picking up on social media, what their friends were talking about. And we did actually a side survey, Batya, here, and we sent this out to all of the attendees at the Student Action Summit where we filmed this. There was about 7,000 young people at this conference in Tampa about a week and a half ago, and 73% of them self-identified as pro-Israel. And that includes a lot of the people in that room. They would defend Israel's right to exist. They would defend Israel's right to defend itself against Hamas terrorists. But that doesn't mean that they don't have nuanced opinions that they feel like they're not allowed to ask. And one of the things that's driving more people away from Israel is when you shut them down and when you don't say that they're allowed to ask certain questions. And that's one of the things that we did actually kind of learn from that focus group, is that they want to be able to say things out loud without being labeled something or pejorative. And you have to take one step back. We have lived through an era where they were called racist if they felt like DEI was a problem, right? So a lot of these kids have been steeped in this, in a world where they were told they couldn't say something, and then guess what? The floodgates broke open, and now they can say it. And they feel like the anti-Semite word is being thrown out just like the racist word was a few years ago.
That's so well put. Let's see another clip from this where you actually discuss anti-Semitism with them.
Do you guys see Jew hate increasing amongst your generation?
I think that there's a lot of collusion between criticism and hate. I think that there is legitimate hate out there, but a lot of criticism is being framed as hatred, or you don't support this because you're criticizing it. And that's like, I think that that's a little inseparable from what the left
do you
does.
guys think it's anti-Semitic to say you don't like Bibi Netanyahu?
No.
I don't believe so.
So what I got from this is that a lot of people in the pro-Israel camp are actually making things worse by alienating young people like these, who have a very good heart, who have a heart for Israel, who are in many cases religious, who want the Jews to have a nation state in Israel to protect Christian holy sites, and yet feel that a lot of the woke language that was used against them is now being deployed to protect Israel. Is that accurate?
That's 100% right. And I wish that I was as successful explaining this to so many people in the conservative world as I was to you just now, Batya. But of course you get it. And you're totally right. There's a great clip from this interaction where a gentleman sitting to Charlie's right said, well, I feel like I've been guilty of the crime without ever committing it. And it really is sort of the powers in the conservative movement that President Trump has unleashed in the last 9 years. This America First populist nationalism, and they feel like there's a cognitive dissonance happening with the state of Israel. That doesn't mean they don't want to be supportive. That doesn't mean that they don't want to morally support Israel, but they have a lot of questions about When do we go to war with Israel? How much money are we sending, and should we send it? Is
And
Bibi
those are all,
Netanyahu?
by the way, legitimate questions that they should be encouraged to ask, especially and including where their taxpayer dollars are going. We have to leave it there, Andrew. God bless you for all the work you do. Thank you so much for sharing this and for joining us. This was great.
Pleasure.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.